Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. We would like to welcome you to our podcast titled A Diary of a Celestian Youth. To introduce ourselves, we are the youths of CITADEL of Celestians Cathedral, Salford Parish, Manchester, and we will be bringing you this podcast. So my name is Aya.
My name is Okwe.
And this is Okwe. Yes, and we will be the host for the podcast. But before we start and introduce the lovely Citadel youths that we've got with us today, we do have a disclaimer. So the purpose of this podcast is to encourage Celestian youth through our experiences. So we do aim to educate on real life issues which affects us on a daily basis. Please note that we will not be discussing any issues pertaining to doctrine or tenets. Should you have any questions relating to any of the above, please seek advice from your church authority. So yes, those are all the serious bits done. Hi, Okwe.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. I'm good, thank you. Hello, everybody. Sorry. Let's introduce everyone. Hi. As you can see, we've got beautiful, handsome, gorgeous faces with us. This is just a few of the many youths of Citadel. So let's all go around one by one, introduce ourselves. Let's say what it is that we do, what role is that we play in the church. So yeah, introduce.
Go clockwise.
Hi everyone, my name is Grace. I'm a member of the choir of the church and I'm also a student. Nice to be here.
Hello, my name is Temi. I'm also a member of the choir and I'm also a student.
My name is Bissy. I am a member of the youth. I'm not a student. I work full time.
My name is Timmy. I'm part of the media team and I'm a student.
My name is Precious. I am part of the Sunday school choir.
Hi, my name is Monica. I'm part of the
What's it called?
Sunday school.
Sunday school choir.
Do it from the start.
Hi, my name is Monica. I'm part of the Sunday school choir and I'm a student.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm a church member. And I'm a student, and I work part-time as well.
Lovely. So I heard a few people say they're working. What are we doing? What do we do? Bissy, let's start with you. What do we do?
I am a business analyst.
Oh! Period. Okay, sis. I love to see
business
that.
analysts do?
I look to helping companies with technical changes, so I'm gathering requirements and helping them pass them on to engineers.
Women in tech. Yes. We love to see it. Sister Elizabeth.
Just part-time.
Part-time work. Who else is working? Okay, you're working, aren't you? What do you do?
I'm a software engineer.
Oh. So tech people. Sorry about technicians in this church. Oh my gosh. Love it.
So I'm a software engineer and I work for Movement. So they make the cards, greeting cards, gifts, personalized products. And yeah, so I've worked for them for about 2 years now.
Ooh, okay. Oh, that's lit. And students, what are we studying? Oh, what do I do? Oh, okay. Hi, my name's Aya. I'm an aspiring solicitor. Yes. Whoop. That's me. Yeah. What do you?
I'm a student currently studying a teacher training course.
You're gonna be a teacher.
Okay. So yeah, I'm a student too, as we've established. I'm studying business technology and hoping to be an aspiring business analyst too.
I'm just loving it. I'm loving the tech. The tech is overwhelming, guys. It's actually overwhelming. Brother Tabi, what are you doing in uni?
I'm studying graphic design.
Graphic design. What is technicians? Okay. Let's go there. You're joining me. Oh, we're doing law. Oh, yes, sis. Sister-in-law. Love to see it. Okay. So that's introduction. As you can see, wow. We have a lot. We have so much going on here, and it's just amazing. It's amazing to see. So yeah, just like a little icebreakers.
Yeah.
Let's break the ice a little bit.
Yeah, so we have a few questions that will go around for everyone. But most importantly, one of the ones that sprung to mind when we were kind of talking about the podcast when it was brand new was what kind of question will resonate with every one of us. That, most of us have kind of joined Celestia as a youth from Sunday school. What hymn or song did you hear that just kind of just made your goosebumps start to rise? As a child, and you were like, you know what? Every time you hear that song, it's not like any other song. Actually, you know the lyrics to it from a young age. Ayo, what song do you reckon?
I'm literally thinking about it. No, because we were saying that the songs depend on the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It depends on the season that you're
I can
in.
relate to that one.
I've got 2 songs. One is it's an all-time favorite, and one is one of the season. Okay, I've got a seasonal one, so I'm gonna cheat and put 2. So the first one is Bekerele Oluwaninu. So that one's my all-time favorite. Like, ooh, it's the ending. It's the call me Fanny Bad Bobo. Let's see that one. Like, yes, it's about
when it even goes on.
And when it's sung properly, I don't think you can sing that song bad.
It lifts your spirit, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that song could be sung badly. But yeah, whenever that song's on, or that hymn, sorry, I keep calling it a song. Whenever that hymn is on, yeah, that is one hymn that really hits home. And my hymn of the season is it's been since Harvest. Ayo, 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 yo, ah. You don't know it?
Is that because your name is sang all the way through it?
Maybe it's the ayo. I don't know, but I'll share it with you. It's really good. It's really, really good. But yeah, that's those 2 hymns, bangers.
Yeah. I think the song for me was hymn 331. I did the Google. Don't worry, I was not going to be caught lacking. I'm here for you. So,
oh, sing for us.
So that's the one that used to lift my spirit.
Okay.
It still does. This very day. Go on. Who's next? Who has a hymn that just resonates with them or a song?
Yeah. So mine is, I think it's 537.
Look, everyone's coming with the numbers, though.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's my song. Yeah. I really love that song. Like each stanzas just say something, and obviously it's about you not fearing, and as long as you believe in Jesus Christ, there is nothing that can touch you. So I don't want to go too deep because I'm feeling it already.
Yeah. Him dissect. That will be another episode.
Yes, definitely.
I love that hymn so much that when I'm singing it, I always feel it in me, and I love oh yeah waka
Oh,
I love a lot of them, like really.
These are classics.
Like, that is just me. Thank you.
No, these are classics. These are classics. I love this. This is going to turn into choir practice very soon. We're going very soon.
I think what we've established though is we've got so many beautiful songs and hymns in Celestian. Like none that you heard anywhere else. Like, 'cause I've been to Methodist when I was younger. When I was in Nigeria, I spent a brief time with my grandma. She went to Methodist, and comparing Celestian songs to Methodist, we just have so many songs that just lifts your spirit.
Yeah, it's actually incomparable. You can't compare it. You can't. There's been times again when I don't know if anyone else has had that period of time where they've gone to another church and you're like waiting for the songs and you're like it's not slapping the same.
No.
It's not slapping the same, and it's just because of the meaning that are attached to the song. It's one thing singing worship, right? But then it's another thing singing like worship that's just inspired by the Spirit, and you just know that it's coming from a deep place. Like, it's just, you can't compare it. Sister Bissy, what's your favorite hymn?
Well, there's been about 3 mentioned which have been my favorite at some point. But at the moment, I'm not going to sing it because my voice is just going to crack up. But I think it's 772.
Hey, everybody's knowing all these numbers. Choir master, please. What's 772?
Oh, wow.
For those who are wondering why Timmy is able to just be getting these hymns from thin air, one of the youngest choir masters in the UK. Yeah, but one of them. One of the youngest choir masters in the UK. We just love to see it. Right over there. Yes.
I'm I'm not too sure of the number, but and the lyrics, but it goes, it's like yeah.
Iye ni tiwa yo olùfẹ́ ò fẹ́ ìfẹ́. Látọ̀run
Ọ̀run mímọ́.
wọ́n kọrin ayọ̀.
Hosanna.
Ògo làwa kọ nínú ìjọ mi.
Wait, ask me. Why
Wow.
does it resonate with you?
I don't know, it's just a song that sits with me.
Yeah.
Do you know, like when you have a place of comfort, like
Yeah.
somewhere, it's that song.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Just listen to that song.
You feel like you're at home when you're
Yeah,
listening
like
to that
listen to that
song.
song.
Yes.
Oh,
It's beautiful.
I love it. I love it.
A song for every situation. I feel like you
Yes.
find yourself in.
Yes.
I love. You can look in the hymn book and look for hymn. If you want the Holy Spirit to come, or if you want blessing, you can just go and there's always a song. It's
Yeah.
just it's so I love it. Yeah.
But guys, have you not deeped though? As we're going around, we're all saying our hymns. Majority of us are English speaking kids. Majority of us are English speaking. But a lot of the hymns that we're talking about, straight Yoruba.
But they do translate. They translate to English.
I don't know. When you're singing in Yoruba, you can really connect to it.
Mhm.
Like even if you don't speak Yoruba on a daily basis,
Mhm.
it really connects with you.
Mhm.
But then once we start to translate it into English, it's like you want to focus on how you're actually saying the English words rather than focusing on what the hymns means.
Yeah.
Like I've got kids, and even though they can't speak Yoruba, they sing hymns from Sunday school,
Mhm.
and I feel like with them singing it, maybe hopefully they'll pick up how to speak Yoruba. But for someone that can't actually, you can relate. You can relate. So for people that can't speak Yoruba, it's amazing now. You can just sing the hymns
Yeah.
perfectly in Yoruba.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I'll play Angel's advocate. Grace, hold on to the mic. No, so do you think the reason why you connect with it more is because Yoruba is your mother tongue and it just has more of a meaning
Yes.
when you do say the words?
Yes. Yes.
rather than
definitely.
just lost in translation, because there's two different things that you can say. Maybe you're losing some of the meaning when you translate it to English, or you can say maybe actually it's just the Yoruba aspect.
I think it's harder as well when we try to sing them in English. Like
Yeah.
when you actually look at the way it's been sung. I don't know. Okay, so I'm a member of the choir, and sometimes when we want to sing hymns in English, your focus, like I said before, is more on you saying the right words in the right places. It's like imagine trying to translate Ojo Agbara no ti Osodo. So if you were to sing it in Yoruba, you just go straight to it without thinking. But English, we don't have a hymn book, but I'm sure it's probably going to go along in the days of. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it just doesn't have the
just
same
harder.
feel.
It just
Yeah.
doesn't have the same feelings. Yeah.
Tell me was shaking his head. I saw you.
You know, I disagree. I don't think you have to know the language to be able to connect with it.
Hmm.
Because I was born and raised in London, grew up in or like the UK, and I could sing songs in Yoruba fluently, but I didn't even know what I was saying. And I couldn't speak it, and I didn't understand it. But the songs connected with me somehow. And I don't know what it is exactly. Maybe it's that's the thing. Like we operate in a spiritual church, so
Yeah.
what maybe I can't see in the physical in terms of understanding, maybe my spirit could understand it. That's the reason why I'm connected. But yeah, so I don't think you have to be from like the motherland, have a natural understanding of the song to be able to connect with the music. I just feel like it could be. That's the thing. It's dependent on the individual, but I feel like a lot of people could probably relate in that sense. In that we're born in the UK, growing up in Nigerian households. We may not necessarily understand the language, but
Yeah.
we can still connect with the music.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So
That's an interesting perspective because I don't have that perspective. I spoke Yoruba growing up, so
Yeah.
I've got the same as yours, Grace, in terms of like singing a song and almost connecting to what it means to me because it's a language that I understand without having to translate. Because essentially, when you're when you're bilingual, you are having to translate. Even when you're speaking English, you have to think, what do I say in Yoruba? How do I say it in English?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what we do, right? So it's interesting you say that because
I think I was singing up until the age of maybe. It wasn't until I was maybe like 17, 18 that I said, okay, wait, let me actually sit down and know what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
I'll be singing songs just because they sound good.
yeah.
17,
I
18.
don't even know I didn't know
Yeah.
what I was saying. I think
That's-
now I probably have a lot better, a much better understanding. But even till this day, there's still songs I sing. I don't completely understand the translation, but I can sort of work it out. I know I can understand the gist, but I don't know it word for word. But I can still sing it as if I'm fluent.
I noticed you were nodding your head.
Yeah, it's the exact same because I sing songs now and I don't understand it, but I love them.
Yeah.
But it just sits right. So I think things just sit right when they're meant. They connect with you, and if they do, then that's it. But like I can sing Yoruba, but speaking it, I'll sound I'll sound so bad. But singing it, I can sing it really good. And it's a joke in my house. They'll be like, try to sing it instead. Yeah, I think I don't know. When you grow up in choir, it's a bit different as well.
It is,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that shapes your experience a lot, especially because growing up here and actually being Celestial youth in the UK, it's definitely different. Because even though we speak English in certain part, it is Yoruba dominant. Yeah, and it actually forces you to learn the language and sort of understand it. Even if you can't speak it, you're forced to. Like for people like me now, where I think being in the church, I say it all the time, being in the church helped me maintain my Yoruba language. Because yeah, I came when I was like 6. I was still able to speak Yoruba. But if I had went to a church that was like predominantly English speaking, there is no chance that I would still be able to speak Yoruba the way I can speak it now. So all these Yoruba hymns, that's the only reason why the hymns only make sense to me in Yoruba, because when we're singing it in English, it's like, what are we trying to say here? Sometimes the English is even too big for the hymn that you're using. Like it just doesn't balance.
Do you know how interesting it is that you say that? Because I remember when I went to uni and I met other Nigerians, so you didn't go to Celestian. My Yoruba was better.
It has to be
because of how we still have such a discipline that we still mix it up. We still sing our hymns in Yoruba. We don't keep everything in English, even though we do have outsiders who are not necessarily Yoruba that will still come. We make sure that our hymns will be in Yoruba and English as well at times. So we do get that all the way through.
I have a rebuttal to the point you're making.
Rebuttal.
So my question is now, is that do you think it's still a good thing for us to grow up within our generation being like Yoruba dominant? I say this because we come from, like, the majority of our parents were all born and raised in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And then they came to this country. A lot of us here were born and raised in this country, so we don't have the fluent Yoruba tongue. So when we, God willing, eventually grow older and start having children of our own, they're gonna be like 2 generations behind hearing the mother tongue. So it's like, I'm even finding this a bit of an issue now where I'm trying to like train kids into like learning songs, and they just can't sing it in Yoruba because they're so like far behind.
So
removed. They're so detached away from like hearing it, and it's like, is it now our duty to make English more common, like within, considering we live in the UK, sort of thing, or do we still continue, singing in Yoruba and possibly creating or possibly allowing for more kids to grow up just singing songs that they don't understand?
Yeah, so this is a very good question. I think, I'd love to hear everyone's point on this. I grew up in a household where my mom was like, "Do so English?" Do you understand what I mean? So I had it was both in a way a disadvantage and in other ways an advantage, pros and cons to it. The pro to it is that I was able to retain as much of the Yoruba as, for as long as possible. The disadvantage is it does limit how well I can speak English at the same time. Do you understand what I mean? So, I think what we do find as well, I think I might be going off topic a bit here, but you find that sometimes when you take bilingual kids from most times, African families, they can't speak English as well because their parents are pushing them to speak their mother language in a foreign country, right? So there's pros to it. Let's put it that way. So the question is, should we start to make them sing in just English? I don't think so. I think we shouldn't take that away from them. Just because they're finding it difficult doesn't mean we should follow the path of least resistance. Like, we should still allow them to have the opportunity to learn that. I know many people now that say, "Well, you speak 2 languages, I'm so jealous of you." I'm like, really? They're like, "Yeah, I wish I could speak 2 languages." So having that opportunity is good for them. But I'd love to hear other people's opinion.
Yeah, especially, sorry, can I just ask for Timmy's opinion? Because me and Timmy came at the same time. Timmy's my brother. I can speak Yoruba, but for the life of him, he cannot speak Yoruba. And I don't like. How hard is it? Because I'm saying being in church has helped me with my Yoruba, but it's had a complete opposite effect on somebody who goes to church equally the amount of time that I do. So what's it like?
Like, you see how opposite is bilingual. Like, I understand everything being said, but to respond, someone said it before, like you have to like process it before the words actually come out. So for me to actually process it before the words come out, I'd rather just say it in English.
Yeah.
And just get it across in English. Like, don't get me wrong, like, Mole Soyoba, but not good. Not good.
Is that Mole Soyoba?
But it's not good. Like, you can hear the English in there. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd rather just speak English because everyone understands me like clearer.
Do you know what's interesting with that though? Do you reckon before you say the words, like the Yoruba word, you doubt yourself on how you're going to pronounce how it's going to land?
And in my head, I say it's going to sound weird, so I don't want to say it.
And then you don't want to say it, and it ends up sounding weird, and then there's this feedback where you're like, oh, it sounds weird, I don't want to say it.
So I don't want to say it.
So right.
Yeah.
I just don't speak it.
Yeah.
But do we think there should be that transition though? Like Temi said, should there be that transition from, you know, predominantly Yoruba speaking church to English speaking? Do you think that's something that we will benefit from? The up and coming generation, is that something that we can benefit from?
Okay, I feel growing up, even as a Yoruba person, like even if you're not Igbo or anything, normally you're supposed to understand your mother's tongue, and for an indigenous church like this, we are meant to understand that mother tongue, so that at the end of the day, if we are trying to be in that church till we are grown, we will understand most of the hymns and most of the things they do there. But the mistake we make these days, we always want to teach our children English. Even back home, most parents, they will prefer you speak English, and it's not helping. If you notice that some other countries, like maybe Spain or thereabout, they don't really speak English. They speak their language. So I feel we should not make the same mistake. As we are growing up, we have to teach our children how to speak our language, so that it won't be difficult for them to understand most of the things we do in the church. So for someone like me, I've been to different churches. I've been to CAC, I've been to MFM, I've been to all other Pentecostal churches before I came in here. So if I was Igbo or if I was Hausa, I wouldn't be able to understand the Yoruba here. Yeah. I would want to learn in English. So that is even better. Yeah. Do you understand? At least it's better. But for Yoruba, because we don't have all Yorubas in Celestian, we have other denominations, other tribe as well. So English is still for we to be able to convert our Yoruba to English is better. I feel that's what I feel.
Okay.
I
don't know if I'm making sense.
No, you're making sense. You're making sense.
This is literally the next point I was going to make. I think building on that, in trying to make Celestial a worldwide church, is it fair to just sing in Yoruba? For example, like I know people that are from Ivory Coast and Jamaica in my church in London, and they don't speak Yoruba. Yoruba is not their mother tongue, and they're always asking, singing English, speaking English, this, that, for inclusivity. Yeah. So saying that we want to continue our own mother language in this country that we live in, are we sort of being ignorant to accepting newcomers into the church?
I've got a question on the back of that. So you had to, for some of us that obviously speak English as our first language, we had to adopt English. Is it wrong for other people to adopt Yoruba? No. Considering Celestial Church is Nigerian, Yoruba speaking and Nigerian church.
But is it though? It's not. It's not. It's not.
Is that a different conversation? Okay, I might. Let me start to backstroke. Let me backstroke.
It's not even Yoruba. Like Celestia is not Yoruba. It's Egun.
Yeah.
Language, if I'm right. It's Egun language. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay. We. Okay. What I want to say then is, but our hymns are in Yoruba.
But there are also hymns in French.
Language. There are other language for that.
So
there are other language.
Yeah. sorry, I'm gonna let the girls speak because our Sunday school here is very, very unique. So let me just pass you the mic so you can tell us what you guys do in Sunday school.
Well, in Sunday school, we sing a variety of languages. Speak Yoruba, English, Spanish, and French. And and Benin. Ego sometimes, yeah. And I feel like it's so. I mean, when I came here, I only had to speak English and Yoruba. Now I can sing like some songs in Spanish and French, and I speak French actually in Spanish, and it's really nice. It's really eye opening, and I just don't think it should be restricted to one language. Pardon?
Future generations, it can really easily disconnect them from the church. Like when I'm speaking to people, they're like, oh yeah, I wouldn't actually, without their parents, they wouldn't actually come here. And that could stem from the language barrier as well. Not away from the doctrine, it could be like the actual language, they don't connect with it. Some people genuinely don't connect with like their heritage. And because it's so like Yoruba based, they might be like, oh, I don't want to go there. Or even like the way people act, it might be like, you know how Nigerians are so like in one way, yeah, they just want to like, it's like, oh, let's change, and we're not like a change in church, because we have set ways, so that creates a disconnect.
So we've gone into like a topic of inclusivity, right?
Yeah,
and it's very interesting to hear that because I didn't realize you sing in other languages.
Yeah, they do.
That's amazing, right? So that's something that we can
come to Children Harvest, everybody. Children Harvest, Citadel. You have French, Spanish, everything.
Yeah, but then that's really interesting. So what do you think we should do to make it more inclusive? Are we saying that we should have hymns in more languages? Is that something that we would, if you had the power, the time, the money, the resource?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what I was going to say is, I think I'm only going to speak of the church that I've actually been to, so I can't speak for other churches.
Yeah.
I think comparing now to then, I think we've actually come a long way. I didn't want to say long, but yeah, we've come a long way, because I've been to Celestian churches where everything they do is just in Yoruba, and like was it Precious or Veronica that said there can be a disconnect if everything you're doing is just in Yoruba.
Yeah.
But at the same time, being in this church in particular, we've tried and we've made efforts to sing English hymns as well. Sometimes it can be lagging a little bit, because obviously, like someone else said, it's not just Yoruba people that come to Celestian Church. But in terms of like conducting services, I think most churches try to do their best in conducting in English. And when they're doing like sermon as well, you always see an interpreter. If the person that's doing the sermon is only speaking English, you always see an interpreter with them. So I think the church is doing a lot in terms of getting rid of the barriers to language. So I just think maybe just to keep pushing on that. And in terms of the hymns as well, I don't know, maybe it's me, but I would rather sing in Yoruba
that bias is normal.
I can sing them in English too. It takes a lot of learning, and you know, I think I can memorize Yoruba easily than English. Maybe that's one of the things as well. But obviously for someone else, maybe someone that's in Sunday school, they can memorize English faster and quicker than Yoruba. But I think definitely we're not trying to bring a disconnect between people. And if your church is not using English as one of the things to connect people, then you can easily ask people on top, can we do more in English? There are some churches that they speak strictly English,
yes. In the hymns,
even with the hymns, they speak English.
Yeah.
And there are churches that mixes it up. So I think it's better to mix it up than just to go pure Yoruba. But then to start learning French as well, that's another thing.
That's another ball game.
Sister Elizabeth.
Yeah, I feel we should, in this case, we should just flow with whatever we are comfortable in. Yeah. Because I can't speak, because I love the hymns in Yoruba doesn't mean the other person should love it. Like there's one particular hymn that whenever they sing it in English, I don't sing along with them. I sing it in Yoruba for myself. Like, oh Christo,
Mommy. Okay, yeah.
I don't like singing it.
Yeah.
I don't like singing it in English because I don't feel it when I sing it in English. But I can sing other hymns in English. But for that particular one, I sing it in Yoruba. So I feel it applies to everyone as well. If you feel you are comfortable with English, I don't see anything bad in you singing like that. And you will still feel connected. That's if you put your mind in it. You know this hymn, if you don't put your mind and all that, you will not, it will not, you won't even feel it in you. So that's just my...
That's very true.
Yeah, no, you make a fair point there. Sorry.
I think it's just a case of finding middle ground, because Sister Grace, you said that for you it's easier to learn Yoruba and sing Yoruba songs. I think that's just probably the reason of you're used to it more. But with up and coming generations, they'll obviously be more used to English. So it's just we can't change from our Yoruba background. I don't think it makes sense to even say we want to go full English, because that's not who we are. We mostly our hymns on Yoruba. We are mostly all speaking Yoruba. Like it sets us apart from a lot of different churches. So it doesn't make sense for us to all change and say we'll just speak English just to make people want to come to us. If people want to come to us, they come to us. However, I don't think we should all just speak Yoruba in itself, because at the same time,
because inclusivity where?
No. I don't think. I don't think it's speaking one language or the other. It's a mix of both, and just finding middle ground that works for everyone.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And also, I've seen churches where one Sunday is fully dedicated to speaking English.
Yeah.
One Sunday in the month. It'll probably just depend on whatever that church is comfortable with. But in terms of like the other stuff that churches do, I know that a lot of people are incorporating English as the first language because of, inclusivity, making sure that people are actually carried along.
Yeah.
But in terms of the hymns, maybe there's still work to do.
Sorry, Bessie, I think you must say something.
I think for me, I don't really have a set opinion on it. I think I'm a little bit on the fence. So I think, moving towards English, that's more inclusive for everyone, and I think that's a good idea. But like when someone mentioned before about generations down the line, and I think, Temi, you said about teaching kids and it's hard, it's not impossible. Like when something's repetitive and consistent, it sticks in your brain.
Yeah.
It's something that is doable. But at the same time, the whole inclusive argument is what I'm a bit...
Yeah, because definitely we are the future of tomorrow. We are the future of Celestial Church. Do you know what I mean? So it's really and truly, it's down to us. Are we going to carry the baton of predominantly, is it vernacular that they call it? Vernacular. Or are we going to not modernize it a bit, but are we going to move with the times and try and make sure that when we're saying, Ijoi Loma we are more, are we actually practicing that in making sure that our service is inclusive enough to bring everybody in? Nobody should, come into the church and feel segregated or separated, just because it's something minute like language. So I think it's very, very important that moving forward to just make sure that everything that we're doing, we can sing our hymns in Yoruba. As you can see, when you open up that hymn book, well, I don't know about the new hymn book. The new hymn book is racist. the new hymn book is just Yoruba. So those who are creating hymn book, please, English section as well. Just so we're creating that environment, that we're all one family. Language it should not be a thing. No, the new ones. Yeah.
I don't like the new hymn book at all, because it's taking us back.
It's a go forward.
We don't have anything against the new hymn book.
Oh yeah.
The new hymn book is a good hymn book.
Yeah.
The back is solid, the front is solid. The color and the print is very nice.
Yes, we like the hymn book.
Against the hymn book, I'm just saying.
Yes, and our venture of inclusivity, please, maybe let's add English there as well. But in saying all of this, what exactly is it though that keeps us still rooted and grounded here? Because if you look around, I know me and Okwe grew up in the same Sunday school, basically. We grew up in the same Sunday school. Back then, Sunday school was packed, so there was plenty of us. There was plenty. But then when you look around, like, where is everybody? There's very few of us in the age that we are now that are still here, that are still, active in a way. So what exactly is it that's keeping each and every one of us still grounded, like in the church?
So I'll just go off the back of that first. Sunday school is still, it's amazing memories. I loved it. There were parts of it that I could have done without.
Like what?
No,
the beatings.
Let's not go there. Django Unchained. So, but what I'll say is though, the amount of like confidence, the skills, guessing from the time where you have to conduct the service.
Harvest period.
Yeah, you start to get the shakes when was it juvenile
harvest.
Oh god. But yeah, so the amount of skills that it does give you is amazing. And I had a really good time. But when you say that, you say, where are the people that we kind of grew up around and were in Sunday school with us? What happened? I think for me, what I left and I went to uni near Liverpool. At that time, I don't think there was a Celestian.
No, there wasn't.
There wasn't. I think it was for quite some time. But definitely, what brought me back was the love and the memories that that Celeste had for me when I was growing up, and that's what brought me back home. When I came back, I thought, I need to go back to my roots.
Yeah,
I need to reconnect with God.
Yeah,
but I'd love to hear what the memories of growing up is.
Yeah, what's keeping you guys here?
What's kind of kept you here?
Oh, don't go all at once. Who wants to start? And anyways,
for me, very simple answer: choir.
Choir.
Yeah, there's nothing. The music in Celestial. I think even so, a bit of a background on myself. It probably even stems to like my parents. My mum was born a Muslim, and the reason why she came into Celestial was because of the choir. So like me, my siblings, my mum, not my daddy. Unfortunately, he's the odd one out, but we still love you, Dad. But me, my siblings, my mum, we're all in the choir, and the songs, it's just how I stay connected. For me personally, I've tried to go, not tried, but I've been to other churches. I've been to Redeem. I've been to even CNS. I've been to a few churches, but it's nothing. But like, there's nothing bad about those churches. But for me, I just couldn't connect with anywhere apart from Celestial, just because of like the songs and the music. And for me, obviously, just being a musically inclined person, I think that's probably the biggest thing that's kept me within Celestial. I think in regards to your point about growing up with so many people in Sunday school, and then obviously now, like, you look around and a lot of people you grew up with have either left the church, gone to different churches, etc. Like, I think a lot of people could probably say that in Celestial, like nationwide. It's definitely the same for me. A lot of the boys, like the friends I had growing up in church, I'm not with them in church anymore today, or like new people have come in, sort of thing. I feel like it's all about finding your niche in the church. I feel like for some people, finding like your identity within the church can be a big struggle. And I know it's definitely been a conversation with a lot of youth that I've grown up with. Luckily for me, I just, like, thank God, I found mine in the choir. But for some people, like, they may not find it in the choir, and they may not know how they fit within the church. And it could also be a thing of maybe that particular parish that they're in may not know how to nurture the talent they have, and which obviously then, it could easily drive them out elsewhere. So I think it's a whole range of things, really. But yeah, I can only speak for myself.
No, you say so many things that just
very good points. Finding your identity within the church, that is a really good point.
Yeah. Sorry, Sister Elizabeth.
What I just want to say is I feel the hymns are very, very powerful. Even I wasn't born in Celestia. I just joined just last year. Yeah. Oh, wow. So and
you're welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. And I feel it depends on the spirituality, because Celestial hymns are very, very powerful. I will always say this because I've been able to listen to other songs, other hymns, and for me to be able to, like, if I go to other churches today, I can't connect. I've just been a year, and if I go to another church, I don't connect with their songs. I'll be like, what are they singing? Even most times in church, when you guys are singing, like, maybe all those normal Pentecostal, I'm like, what is this for?
Once you go to Celeste, you can never go back.
Oh, my days.
That is why I'm saying that it's very powerful. There is no how you won't connect to it. There is no how you will not feel it, that the Holy Spirit is within you. But when you are out there, I don't know for other people, but this is my own personal opinion, because they say salvation is personal. You
Extremely.
have to discover yourself. I've
Yes.
been to different places. I feel, even sometimes when I go to church, when I go to CAC, I sleep in church.
Mm.
Yeah.
When my pastor is preaching, or when they are doing anything, I'll just be pressing my phone. I don't do anything. I don't connect.
Mm.
I've been to Redeem. The same thing. I will dance, dance all these.
Yeah.
But when I started attending Celestia, I started reading more minutes of songs. Like, I feel it within me that, oh, this is actually meant for me.
This
Yeah.
song is speaking
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, this is meant for me. The church especially.
Mm.
So that's why when I see most people, like, when you go to church, especially Celestia, you don't know what God is doing for you when you're
Yeah.
in Celestia.
Yeah.
So that's just it.
Yeah. And it's just, it's I love it. I love it. I just love it. Go already. Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with Tammy. I think if you're not able to find something for yourself within the church, you can easily get tired and like, I don't belong here, sort of thing. So it's very important. So I'm in the choir, like I said, but outside of the choir, I always find myself doing one thing or the other within the church.
Yeah.
And those kind of things. And I don't want to go away from, the choir and what people generally do, but everyone has a calling as well.
Definitely.
So it's up to you, and obviously it's up to the church as well, to help you with whatever your calling is.
Yeah.
And I think once people settle into that, anything else can really take them
Away.
out
Yeah.
or away from it. But if you don't know what your calling is, if you don't know which department you're going to flourish in, and then you just come in every Sunday and you're not doing anything, like deep within you, you might start to feel like,
Mm-hmm.
why don't
Yeah.
I go next week because I'm just sat there.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not every single person that will be in every single department, and just members are fine too. But in terms of youth, because obviously we always want to have something to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a youth and maybe you're not doing something, then you can easily, start rehearsals. Is that
Yes, rehearsal.
Like you can easily start to feel that way, and then eventually, maybe let's say you've gone to your friend's church, and on the first day or the first 2 to 3 weeks, you're already playing drums for them.
Mm.
Obviously, you're gonna say, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay here.
Mhm.
I'm doing something here."
Mhm.
So yeah, that's
Just a question off the back of that. Do you feel like finding your calling, finding your voice within your church helps you outside of church?
yes,
Mhm.
definitely.
In what way do you think?
Definitely. You mentioned something before. So when you were in Sunday school, it gave you skills and it gave you experiences.
Yeah.
So there are definitely things that you can do. So for example, I've been in the department of the Secretariat's office before. So I think I was telling you this last week. Up until today, I put that on my CV.
You have to.
Yeah.
That is a life skill.
In fact, I'm not getting paid for it.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, if you put stuff that you've done in church on your CV, either you getting paid for it or it's a voluntary thing, they will still look at it and think, wow, you can be committed to this, then therefore you can be committed to work and other things. Like I use the church as reference.
Guys.
That's a very good point.
Guys.
So definitely, it's
Please.
not just about the spiritual part of it and knowing God part of it. The church can definitely help you
Mhm.
in terms of being
Mhm.
confident. And I'm someone that's very, very shy.
Mhm.
And previously, you would not see me speaking when there's a lot of people.
Mhm.
But now, if I sit down with people, I'll probably be one of the first voices that you hear, and people
Yeah.
are like, I've had someone come to me and say, you didn't used to be this,
Yeah.
chatting. I mean, I'm not that chatty now, but at the end of the day, it's because I've involved myself in things from church, maybe like speaking to people to people that are older than myself, younger than myself, and I've just developed that
Mhm.
experience from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's worth actually, pointing those key parts out, because it's a fantastic opportunity. We are part of one organism trying to make this work, and we are connected, networking with each other. We do have a fantastic opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
And just listening to your growth alone is very motivating. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then I know there's some of us here, like, who are still in the transition phase. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a transition phase. A lot of us are still looking for which, department, which area it is that we want to settle in within the church. Some of us, we in the choir, I don't know, we are just overly confident because we know for sure that place, that's where we're supposed to be. But for those of us who are transitioning, what is helping you like inform that decision as to, okay, this is the line that I want to, go into within the church. This is how I want to help out. Like, what's helping you inform that decision?
Can I quickly chip in before we get there?
Chip.
One thing I think is important, which a lot of people may not realize, is I think there's a very cliche understanding of how to be involved in the church. So it's either you're part of the choir, you're part of media, you're part of left, right, center sort of thing. Like, you get what I'm trying to say. But I think it could possibly be, maybe like more of a woman issue than a man issue. Because I think with guys in Celestial, we can do a lot more. Like, guys can enter the altar, etc. Guys are, typically like the leaders of departments within the church. But for women,
that's a different topic.
yeah. But I feel like sometimes, I feel like it sort of it ties in with, finding your identity within the church. Sometimes it may seem like women may struggle, but I feel like you don't even have to be part of the choir. Like, there's so many crucial behind the scene things that happen in the church that you may not even see, but you could easily adopt that role, and all of a sudden, like, you're contributing to the success of the church. So let me give an example. Like, new people come to the church all the time. For new people to stay, you need someone to make them feel welcome.
Yes.
You can easily have somebody take on that role and be the person like who always goes to speak to the new person that enters the church. In addition to that, I think I even see Sister Grace doing it. After church on a Sunday, there's what we have the hot chocolate.
Yeah, the tea station, our popular tea station.
Like, you could easily be that person who takes on that responsibility and make sure that's there every single Sunday. Like, you don't know, like, people could be coming church hungry. You don't know. People could come at the end of the service, they've had nothing to eat for like the past 24 hours. All of a sudden, you doing that, you're blessing them. That's an active role now, that you're doing within the church. So I think it's also important to not be naive to the ways that you can actually help find your identity within the church. There's so many things, like when they need. Like when they're making a committee for something, all of a sudden, like, your organizational skills are just 10-10, so you can just slot in there.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Even though you're not part of the choir, even though you're not part of media, where these people in these departments are having a visible impact on the day-to-day processes that go on in the church, you're still having just an equal impact on the progress of the church as them.
Yeah.
So that's
no, definitely. Just being able to it's getting that distinction between being involved in a church doesn't necessarily mean you have to be involved in a specific department. It really doesn't. You can be involved in so many other different ways, like admin, cleaning. Like, there's a lot of things that we do, within the church. We've got the welfare, we've got the cleaning, coming on Saturday to come and clean. Like, it's like little things like that that's able to, that creates a sense of purpose, because that you've got a responsibility there. And I feel like worshiping without a sense of responsibility it can draw you back. Having that responsibility there can keep you grounded and focused, and it can also change. Just because you're in one department doesn't mean you have to be in that department for life. Like, it's callings change all the time.
I'm feeling integral to the church.
Yeah.
That you are needed. We're youth. Imagine if all the adults just disappeared. Are we able? Imagine, no, but this is what I'm saying, right? This is the point I'm going to get to. Imagine if they all just disappeared, right? Are we able to take on that role? Are we on a path of becoming, the greater of tomorrow, the face of the church? Are we on that path? We all need to be integrated so we feel responsible as part of the church. And I think that's one of the key things that I've picked up from here. So having responsibility is one thing, but your responsibility also should be leading you towards that.
Yeah.
Do you agree? What do you think?
No, I'm so deep in that. What would actually happen if all the adults disappeared? They disappeared and it's just us. Do you think are we equipped enough to keep the church going?
So I think that's what's important, right? That's what's important, that we see ourselves as being, we're going to be taking that mantle someday, right? We're going to be taking that baton, and we will be, we will know the church more than a stranger walking in, because we are the youth. We are, growing into that place. So it's important for us to feel valued right now and important within the church.
Yeah. Yeah.
feel like that's
Okay.
it's
Wow.
left us a bit
That's left us in a
food for thought.
food for thought. What do we do? That's crazy.
Okay, go on.
On a lighter note, then. Okay. Let's say all the adults are still here. Nobody has disappeared. However, we're going on a retreat. Okay, not literally, but hypothetically speaking, we're going on a youth retreat, weekend away. Celestial youth, Citadel youth. We're all packing our bags, praying, fasting, everything, having fun, building community and fellowship. What are the three essential things that you're going to take that is not going to miss out in your bag? What are the three things that you're going to take with you to that retreat? Let's go. Timmy?
Wait, in the bag.
Yeah, so what are you packing with you to this retreat?
You can take other things in your hands, right? Just
No. Three things that you're packing.
okay.
Three essentials that you need to take on this Citadel retreat that we're going on.
I'm taking my toothbrush.
No, don't brush your teeth. Don't brush.
Probably my second thing. Is it a church retreat or just?
Yeah, no, Citadel youth retreat. All of us were going
He's
weekend
going to
away.
take his towel. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I take my toothbrush, my Bible, and a notebook. That's the three things I'll take.
Taking notes.
Toothbrush, Bible, and notebook.
Retreat.
That's true. Why would you not be taking notes?
We're on a retreat.
But that's the thing.
I'm not gonna remember everything that happened on that retreat in my head.
There you go. I like that.
Did it have to be like essentials? Obviously, we know that everyone would want to have a shower.
Duh.
Okay, maybe not everyone. I don't know. I'm speaking for myself. So did it have to be things like that, or just we're taking away the basic? Let's say they've got all the
Yes.
basic.
Take
stuff
away all the
there. Okay,
necessities.
so they've got the basic stuff there. So what would you take? So I would take a novel, something to read, definitely. I'll take a Vaseline.
Yes.
Can't do
Those
without
night vigils. That's when you start getting dry lips.
My glasses, yes,
Yeah.
actually, so I can see everyone. That's actually there, see what's going on.
Okay. Daily essentials. Timmy will take his vocal cords and keyboard. He must sing.
I think I'll take a keyboard. Yeah, I'll take a keyboard number one. What else? What else would I take? Maybe headphones. To use with the keyboard, so I don't disturb you. When
Very thoughtful.
and then thirdly, I'm just trying to think. My wallet.
Your wallet.
Yeah.
Wow. Idamewa.
Just in
No, he needs to pay collection and tithes.
Just in case.
Yeah. We have to. It's essential. I'm only joking.
I'm still thinking.
You're still thinking?
Yeah. My phone and charger comes as one.
Okay, all in one, inclusive package.
I was gonna say candle, but I could probably just get one there.
There.
So.
You know, Lonnie.
Silence.
Oh my god, I really can't think.
Okay, should we split your charger and your phone?
No.
Oh,
that's,
all inclusive, one together. Okay.
My phone and charger. I'd probably take. I'm lying. I don't know.
You're about to tell us. Okay. Right, we'll accept your two. What will I take? That's a great question. That's a very good question. What will I take with me on this retreat? Well, since everybody wants to leave their sultana at home, me.
No, I already said that.
No. Oh, okay. Oh, are we keeping it as essential?
That's essential. You are speaking up now.
It's essential.
It's essential.
Okay. All right, go on. Okay, I'll stop before I make my conclusions.
First thing I'm going to ask is, for the retreat, where are we going to be going to?
These are very good questions.
We're going to a Lake District.
Context matter.
Yes, we're going Lake District. In a cabin, in the winter. Cabin.
Is there going to be a place for us to like like an apartment.
Yeah.
Okay.
All inclusive retreat.
We are not camping.
We're not outside.
You're
Yeah.
not outside. So I would have loved to take my cover clothes. Because I wouldn't want to be on the field and start feeling cold and all that. I'm going to go with my phone and charger, like you said. And what else? Like you said, I'll go with a lot of things, not just 3. I'll go with my sutana and my what again? Bottle of water.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
No, you already have.
How
big is your bag?
What's that?
We didn't get the context in the
Okay.
first place.
Okay.
But seeing as it's winter, I need my hot water bottle
Oh.
and my fluffy socks.
Okay.
So,
So which two are you
I
taking
would-
out?
I would. Okay, I'll leave my glasses.
I have to see.
As long as I'm warm, I'll take my hot water bottle, my fluffy socks, and my glasses. I can borrow Vaseline from someone else.
There you go. Okay, that makes sense. That is fair enough. That is fair enough.
Finish yours. You took your satana.
Yes, I'm taking my garment. Yeah, I have to take my garment. I have to take my hymn book because I just can't trust that hymn books are going to be provided there.
Very
Like,
true.
no, but is the church going to provide that? Like,
She wants the Spanish
who?
one. That's what she didn't say. She wants the Spanish one.
who's bringing the hymn books?
Bibles and essentials.
Yeah, but who's
Bibles-
bringing the Bibles?
Hymn books will be there too. We said essentials. Like we just had to.
Hmm.
Take that into account.
Okay. I don't know. I should drop my hymn book.
We are not
Hymn book will be
clear
provided.
Even then.
If it's a fun kind of setting,
No, so it's
just a
prayer,
prayer.
fasting, a bit games. Yes. You go in there, go to the mountain to connect with God. Okay, Lake District landlord. Yeah.
We need to go with our candles. Okay.
See? Okay, so all these things are essentials. Okay, all right. Okay. So now we are screaming essential. When we actually now plan this retreat, if you are all not there with your hymn book, your Bible, your candle, and your sultana, what should now happen?
It would be there. We would pack it from church.
We pack it from church. Okay. All right, fair dues. All right, I hear that. Marika, what are you going to take?
I'm gonna have to be the baby. I'm bringing my teddy.
Your teddy?
She goes everywhere.
What's your teddy
What's your
called?
teddy?
She's called Luna.
Luna.
He described Luna
She's
to us.
long and she's pink.
She's long and pink.
No, she's pink like she's fat.
Okay.
It's a plushie. Do you know what
It's
a
a
plushie
plushie.
is?
A
The
plushie.
Asian, like the Asian teddy.
How do you know
Oh.
about the Asian teddy bear? Your brother, the Asian.
Watch his anime.
Oh my God.
She's a plushie. Oh, she's so cute, and she's called Luna.
Mm.
And then my mom threatened me this weekend. She said if I bring her home,
The question is, does Luna have its own sultana?
You have to sew sultana for Luna.
You have to sew sultana
Sew sultana for
I
Luna.
don't think Luna wants.
Luna definitely wants sultana.
Okay, so Luna, it's gonna have to be my phone. I'm sorry, and then a few snacks.
A few snacks.
Everyone comes to me for snacks.
No, yeah, food.
And those,
Oh yeah.
When you break your fast, you don't break fast.
And that's a dry fast for 3 days.
Fast, you got to break fast.
Okay, we're getting ideas for this retreat. No problem.
you don't even want to do my 24-hour famine.
Oh, exposure. Expo. 24-hour what?
Famine.
24-hour famine. Sponsored. What?
And
What's 24-hour
I
famine?
planned it and no one wanted to do it.
And that's the people that were going to fast and pray with on the mountain of Lake District. Okay, no problem.
Can't lie, I don't even know. I don't know. My phone and my charger, yeah, as one. Because, fluffy socks, a lot of socks. Just a lot of socks. I like, my feet can't get cold, so
Mhm.
I can't function. Don't know what else. I'm have to do 2.
2 things.
Sorry, don't know.
Okay, people. Okay.
No, jewelry. I like jewelry.
Yeah.
I take some jewelry. I need to have my necklaces on sometimes and my rings. So just
Material girl.
What would I take? I'll take my sultana, my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll take a notepad as well.
Yes.
Maybe I need a notepad.
Yeah, you do need a notepad.
on your
No,
phone, you're doing
it's
it.
not.
Oh no, okay, right. We're talking about this technology. Okay, wait.
I want to, exactly. I don't wanna be
Technology.
distracted. It's only for emergency.
Technology forward society that we're in now. Our mothers back in the days, I know my mom has this notepad at home. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it a jotter? It's not a notepad, it's a jotter.
Okay, yeah. So my mom has this notepad at home. Like you can tell that notepad has been coming since like 1980 something.
Diary.
Then and that notepad is like filled with sermon notes, like conch sermon notes, and she still carries that notepad. Maybe there's like 4 or 5 of that notepad. I don't know. Now, that is an essential that we need to be taking to church every single day. Whenever we come, we always need to have something there to jot down. Now we've been shouting our phones. How many sermon notes is inside our phones?
I actually have some.
Okay, guys. Okay, quite a few.
Yeah.
Okay, but what would you prefer? Phone notes or paper notes?
Phone notes, but apparently we get distracted.
Mm.
So
That was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Surely it'll be easier to just write it down, not be distracted by your phone.
I don't know. It's quick. Like I can keep up.
Yeah. But the likelihood that you just swipe one and you're on Instagram already.
Problem.
That's the mistake. You accidentally click and that's it. Boom,
You just
Snapchat.
someone pop up, someone like my post. Which one do you like?
Now we're on social media.
The spirit will guide us.
The spirit will lead us away. No, I hear that. Okay, all right. Well, I think we can bring things to a natural close here. Thank you everybody for joining. So this is, like I said, it's an introduction session. The faces that you see here, there will be regular faces on the podcast, and we will be bringing other youths as well on here. So get used to us, but don't get used to us too much, because we'll like to switch things up a little bit. Yeah, so this is an introduction. We've got more content coming for you over the coming few months. Different topics, different things that we're going to be speaking about. Today we've spoken about literally a bit of everything, but our podcast will be more precise and topic based. So yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all so much. Yes, and
appreciate your time.
yeah, and if you don't have a church that you're going to, consider CITADEL of Celestian's Cathedral. Thank you.
Thank you.